Hey guys, I'm back with my video response to episode 221. Another great episode, guys. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was cool. And yeah, so let's get into it. I'll try to make this one real short. Seem I've already made a video for this one. Pipes, I hope you got a chance to check out the video I made for you. Hopefully you'll be singing in an Australian accent real soon. So that's cool. PT, your dog, I could hear your dog in the background. That was quite funny. I think it really is Pipes' voice. Maybe it is because it's so low. And, you know, getting a little freaked out. Maybe does your dog get scared when Pipes comes over and talks? Maybe. Who knows? So, yeah, let's get into it. The Monster Magnet. You know, I've never actually really listened to Monster Magnet. Maybe I've heard it somewhere. But that was pretty interesting with Dave, was it Windorf? Dave Windorf, and the interesting facts on Wikipedia, like when he lost his virginity, when he first smoked pot and things like that. I guess some fans are just that into the artists that, you know, they want every detail, and they'll take, you know, maybe you see it as a negative, maybe not. I'm not going to judge anybody for doing drugs or anything like that. Or, you know, hopefully everyone loses their virginity before they get too old. But, you know, some people, you know, really think that's really important. They idolize these people that much that when they write things like a Wikipedia or anything like that, you know, they're going to put as much information in there as possible, so you know, maybe they are irrelevant facts, but I guess in their sense, maybe what they were saying is this is about the person, not just the musician. So it could be that. Maybe not. So anyways, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'll have to check out some Monster Magnet and see if I like it. You know, one thing I really enjoyed was Pappy coming in with that recording. That was cool, playing a bit of Metallica in the background, talking about the signature guitars. You know, I thought that was really cool to come in like that. It was really professionally done. And your opinions of the guitars. Personally, I don't know if I'd ever buy a signature guitar from someone else. You know, unless it was a little bit more sort of mainstream in the way it sort of is, you know, rather than something exactly what someone else likes. But, you know, I can see the appeal, and, you know, like you were saying, you know, there's some limited edition with those, it was the Kirk Hammett guitars, wasn't it? And, yeah, I mean, they will sell, you know, they will sell. I have to say, like Metallica, oh, the last 2 times they've been here in Australia, I've gone to see them, got the best tickets, well, not the best tickets, I'm not made of money, but floor tickets, tried to make it to the front, and, you know, yeah, really cool concert. You know, they go hard. No matter how old those guys are, they put on a good show. So yeah, it was a cool segment. And the review, Amplitude for iPad. You know, I was thinking about getting an iPad, and, you know, I know I don't need one, but, you know, how many things do we really need that we buy? We have wants. But, you know, looking at the games and the apps, I'm thinking, yeah, they're kind of useless. However, the one thing I saw was a controller for recording, so you can control, you know, stop, play, push faders up and down and that sort of thing in your DAW and things like that. And I thought that was really handy to have a wireless controller. Not that it really matters, though, for someone like me that sits in front of my desk when I'm recording. But it could help, you know, because sometimes you've got cables, pedals everywhere, your amp's over there, and you want to start and stop and listen and do sort of things like that. And I think that's a really cool idea. But then when you were talking about, you know, having the virtual amp in there, oh, that is cool, because you could take it anywhere with you, anywhere. And, you know, and for some people that are just getting into sort of the virtual world of amp modeling and that sort of thing, sometimes you don't want to be a slave to your computer. And sometimes you don't even want to carry a laptop around, because these days laptops tend to be quite big and wide and heavy. So, you know, I think it's a pretty cool idea. And like you said, having the touch screen to actually touch and move knobs rather than with the mouse click. Because honestly, no, using mice is just, you know, it's just sort of takes away a bit of the realism away from it, in my opinion. And being able to, you know, grab a knob and turn it. You know, you're not physically doing it, but, you know, you're emulating that, and you get more of a feel for what's actually happening. And, you know, because when you turn a knob on a pedal or an amplifier in an EQ section, you know, you generally play something and you turn it and you get a sort of like, you know, feel okay, and a visual aspect of where that is. and doing the actions, I think, with your hands really helps. So, you know, I thought it was a really good review. I'm quite surprised at the tones that you can get out of these things these days. I thought, you know, they sound really realistic, really great. And I think in the mix, if you to record with it, you know, with the rest of the other instruments, you know, people aren't going to be able to tell that you recorded with a virtual amplifier. I think these days, you know, they're up there that high with the quality that, you know, it's just great, fantastic. So that was really cool. Let's talk about what Pipes was excited. Blackstar amps. Well, as you can see in the background, of course, I play a Blackstar amp, the Blackstar HT5. I got this thing when it was sort of new. I actually bought this reading a lot of reviews. I didn't even try the amplifier. I went onto YouTube, listened to a couple of sound clips, which obviously aren't going to be that good because half the people don't use professional mics and don't really give a crap, you know, so about, you know, getting a proper sound in there. They're just doing a demo. But there's something about it, you know, having a 5-watt valve amp, and you know, this is the first valve amp that I've actually owned. You know, and people will argue, say it's not a real valve amp because there's a pedal in it. Yeah, who gives a shit, you know? As long as it sounds the way you want it to sound, that's all that matters. You know, and there are valves in there, and you know, they glow and everything. So, but I like them as well. I tried an HT20, which was pretty good. Very similar, a little bit different tonal, a little bit more versatile, and I think it had a bit of a purer sound. I didn't really turn it up like that loud, but I liked it. And you know, honestly, if I was going to start a band or get into a band and start gigging, I think I would buy a Blackstar amp. You know, I rate things that well. I think the thing sounds phenomenal for what it is, and 5 watts is loud. I mean, it is loud. If you dime that thing and would practice with that every day, you'd probably end up with some hearing problems in your bedroom because, you know, it's really good. One thing I can say I don't really like about them again is the speakers they use. They use Celestion's, I think they're called GN40s, and yeah, they're okay. They're pretty good. They use them in these things, and they use them. I can't remember what the other Celestion they use. You can get vintage 30s in the higher end stuff, but they just took a long time to break in, and I mean a long time. It was probably 6 months, 7 months for them to break in till it started to sound a lot better. But you know, it does sound pretty good. The EQ, a lot of people say it isn't really that strong. What I found is, especially with the HT series amps, is that, you know, a lot of people get there and they'll crank their treble and they'll crank their bass, and they'll start dialing back the mids. Well, you know, the amp is kind of treble happy, a little bit treble happy, so you know, I just dial back the treble. Because in the past, I've been scared to push treble back, you know, below 5, thinking, oh, I don't want to cut too much of it out, you know, it might sound too muddy and so forth. But, you know, every amp's different, and you just got to approach the EQ differently and like that. So when I first got it, I was like, oh, this EQ isn't all that powerful. But once I got used to how it worked, and, you know, you can get a lot of tones out of it. So, yeah, you know, even though, Pipes, you have a fantastic satellite amp, you know, you can always do with a different tonality. And, you know, I recommend Blackstar amps for sure. And they're not stupidly overpriced, like, you know, like a Marshall or Mesa Boogie, things like that. I've never really been a fan of Marshalls. You know, I like British Crunch, but I think just for what you pay, it's not really worth it. But anyway, and I still remember what Adam said from Satellite when he was on the show, that amps are an absolute rip-off. The components in the amps are worth no more than $100, and I thought that was very interesting, like he was saying for a Marshall 100-watt head. But anyway, yeah, so Blackstar amps, dude, I love them. And now this is interesting. You guys have made me spend more money, but at least some of it goes to the Bliss. And I purchased for myself the 6-string Bliss app, just so I could hear the teardown section. And I thought that was cool. I would like it if the teardown section was available by other means, because in Australia we've got shit plans for our iPhones. Australia's still catching up with wireless internet and all that sort of thing. It is not unlimited. It costs a fortune to download data or content like that. And so, which is the reason why I don't really stream too much on my phone, because if I go over my plan, my phone bill will be through the roof. But I did like, when I'm at home it's different because I go through my Wi-Fi, my home internet, but I thought that was pretty cool, 10 minutes of just talk, because like I was saying before, that is what the Bliss is about, just two guys having a chat about music and a lot of things, life in general. And I think that should be part of the show, but I know you guys are trying to get a lot of people onto the apps and that sort of thing, and a buck goes to the Bliss, so that's all good. So anyway guys, that's about all I've got time for, because I better keep this short. But and once again, fantastic episode, and I can't wait for the next one. Catch you next time.